he's on the live stream ringside saying what he's going to do. So it's premeditated.
That's all the fuck I told Roger to do. Now my fucking life is ruined over your life.
I think people misunderstood me. 100% of the blame goes on Raja, okay? But if I say 1% goes on...
The wrestling world has been thrown into chaos after a shocking incident inside the ring left fans and insiders debating what really went down. Was it just a stunt that went horribly wrong, or was it a calculated, intentional attack? Wrestling veteran Jeff Jarrett weighed in, sharing his perspective on the situation and his friend Rampage. Jarrett didn't hold back, saying that sometimes the harshest truth comes from the man in the mirror. And in this case, the guilty party needs to face themselves and admit their actions were completely out of line. He even recalled a strange story from the past about a wrestler who handed out receipts in the ring before disappearing altogether, using it as a reminder that actions in this business always come with consequences. Jarrett closed by stressing that in today's social media-driven world, accountability is unavoidable. And in this case, responsibility clearly needs to be taken.
Rampage is a great dude, a buddy of mine. We go way back. He's a wrestling fan from the Memphis, Tennessee area. But, you know, as a father, you know, it is obviously an unfortunate situation. But, you know, Raja, I think, you know, and everybody goes through this growing up. He's got to take a hard look in the mirror, and the man in the mirror don't lie. And what he did was absolutely, totally wrong. And, you know, he will pay for it.
Have you ever seen anything like that in all your years? And I know things happen, and I talked to Mark Henry, and he said what he had to say, and he stood by that veterans should never rib on these young wrestlers. He had that when he was coming up. You've been around forever. Have you ever seen something to that, you know, extent?
No, I mean, not to that extent. You know, I've been involved in all kinds of scenarios, and one of the, you know, there was a battle royal, Steve, if you really want me to get granular here, but there was a Moondog battle royal, and there was a guy rolling the ring and gave Larry Latham some receipts back in the ring. And then the story of that is he rolled in and peppered him. I think it was about 22 times in about 7 or 8 seconds, because our camera guys went back. But that guy went to the back. He already had his car loaded and started and a driver, and they took off. And to this day, I've never seen that guy again. So, you know, there's all kinds of kind of crazy incidents, bar fights, in-ring stuff that goes down, all kind of crazy stories in our business. But this, you know, it's 2025 and kick and social media and the layers upon layers upon layers. But, no, you know, the word I go back to being held accountable.
Amid the escalating controversy, popular streamer Adam Ross has come forward with a fiery response. Ross didn't sugarcoat his feelings, saying the Raja Jackson incident was beyond disturbing and left him completely appalled. He took direct aim at streaming platform Kick, blasting their handling of the situation and demanding swift action. According to Ross, accountability is non-negotiable. Specific employees and moderators must be held responsible if the platform hopes to restore any credibility.
There's no words, bro. There's absolutely no words at all, bro. At all. It's disgusting. It's just disturbing, disgusting. And Kick as a whole needs to do better, bro. Straight up, bro. Straight up. I'll just tell you guys this. I think that there needs to be some type of policy change. Some certain Kick staff need to be held accountable. Moderation need to be held accountable. And there needs to be change immediately.
Meanwhile, fighter Dylan Danis has also chimed in on the viral Raja Jackson incident. Danis admitted it was tough to even watch, openly questioning what could have pushed Raja to act that way, suggesting possible anger issues at play. As a trained fighter, Danis broke down why the slam and follow-up punches were completely out of line, especially since the opponent had placed trust in Raja in that moment. He called it a sad and unnecessary situation that ultimately reflects poorly on the entire combat sports community.
What's your take on this Raja Jackson video that came out? Because it seems like that's caught kind of not just the wrestling world, but like everyone is caught.
To be honest, it's hard to watch, but in a way, it's like he might have something like wrong with like maybe like anger problems, because like why would he do that, you know? And anybody that has trained or anybody that has a brain knows when someone's working or someone's like And like that would be like me going with you right now, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick you up, and we're working. We're doing a WWE match." Like you could slam me in my head. Like I'm giving you my weight. You know what I mean? So like the guy obviously let him pick him up, and then slamming him like that is ridiculous. First off, especially being a guy that's trained. I know he's only 0-1, but like slamming the guy like that first off is ridiculous. Like any person in WWE can do that to each other. You know, it doesn't. That's not anything like people are acting like, "Oh, that's Rampage Jr." or something like that. Like the guy jumped up for you to carry his weight, and he's trusting you to take care of his body. You know what I mean? And then he's throwing those shots, and like, I get you can kind of lay one in, like, you know what I mean? I can hit you like that, but the first one was like a fucking haymaker. He's trying to like kill the guy, and like, it's just sad. Like I don't understand what happened. Like it's hard to explain what happened, and it looks bad for us too. You know what I mean? Like anybody could do that. Like I can go in the ring in WWE and do that to like why I do that? No, like you're supposed to have a trust. I mean, that's a different sport. It's a pro wrestling. You know, it'd be different if he said, "Hey, come in here, I'm a fucking kid. Like fuck you. Like I like really want to fight you." You know, and then beat the shit out of the fucking guy. But it didn't seem like that. Like he did the prop can. He's saying that, but then he apologized, and like. Is this kid? I mean,
building on the controversy, Dylan Dennis, a polarizing figure and former MMA fighter, didn't hold back when sharing his take on the wild pro wrestling incident. In a fiery tirade, Dennis openly questioned the actions of a fellow martial artist, calling out what he saw as a complete disregard for the unspoken code of respect inside the ring. He voiced his deep disappointment, stressing that honor and trust are cornerstones of combat sports. Every detail of Dennis's intense breakdown laid bare his frustration, offering a raw perspective on why the situation crossed the line.
PTSD is like
so sad. It's so sad. I was actually gonna offer to help him like with money and maybe training, like, and then he shot on the other guy. He couldn't threw the other guy down. He was like, so it's like the guy was letting you work with his body. Like, when you're training and even you pick someone up and sparring, you're not gonna slam the guy on his head. Like that's basically what they're doing in pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Someone's letting you pick them up, and you're not gonna do that. But I like Rampage a lot, so it's like you don't want to blame Rampage. That's the only reason that I don't want to go too hard on his son, because Rampage is a legend. He's a great guy.
Seems to be kind of like
but like if it wasn't Rampage's son, I'd be like that motherfucker.
To the exact same.
You know what I mean? Like that shit's fucked up. You know, to do to someone, especially in an indie show like that, and you're a martial artist at the end of the day. You know when someone's unconscious. Like if it was like a street fight and you're in the fight to the death and you're trying to kill or protect your family, that's like something like that. Okay, I would understand that. You know, he's a 25-year-old man that's been training martial arts and has been around martial arts his whole life. It's sad, man. I mean, it's fucked up. And like, I feel bad for the dude that he did it to, you know, and it puts us back a little bit, you know, went viral and it makes us look like we're fucking like or something, because I don't know, maybe there's a deeper meaning. Maybe like he was just, maybe he had something wrong with him. Yeah, but like snap like that, it's just crazy. Like the guy didn't even do anything, you know what I mean? He even said sorry after. He's like, I thought you were with camera, we were doing the work. Like everybody knows how pro wrestling works, you know what I mean? So it's very sad to see.
Adding to the intensity, UFC veteran Josh Thompson didn't hold back when addressing the Raja Jackson case. Thompson made it clear that the blame rests squarely on Raja's shoulders, but he also called out the event promoters, arguing they failed to maintain proper oversight. While admitting he doesn't know Raja personally, Thompson stressed that the mistake was undeniable and inexcusable. He closed his statement with a bold prediction, expressing confidence that authorities are already building a case strong enough to ensure Raja spends a long time behind bars.
I guess maybe I need to reword it. There's also blame, 100% can go on Raja, but there's also blame with people that are involved in terms of, like, they could have done a better job.
Sure.
They could have done a better job. It's their promotion. They could have done a better job. Look, Raja is I've never met the guy. I don't know him. I'm not biased towards him at all. I have nothing to say other than the fact, like, he totally fucked up. Like, he fucked up and like, it's not even close. I don't know him at all. So I'm not here to say that, like, oh, he should be okay. No, he's not. He's going to go to jail for a long time. And people are saying, well, he's not even arrested yet. They're gathering all the information. I don't think they're...
Expanding on his earlier comments, Josh Thompson doubled down on his take regarding the Raja Jackson incident. He explained that authorities appear to be taking their time to build a rock-solid case, carefully piecing together every detail. Thompson clarified that while Raja holds full responsibility for his actions, some of the blame also falls on others, specifically the event promoters, who he believes failed in their duty. He emphasized that his intention was not to deflect blame from Raja, but to point out that accountability extends beyond a single individual. In the end, Thompson concluded that while Raja must ultimately answer for his actions, others involved cannot be overlooked.
That's what you're going to see happen.
Eventually,
there will be an arrest.
There's countless hours of video footage they're sifting through.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they know they have enough for arrest, but they want to make sure that they have enough to where he's not getting out on bail. He's not getting out nothing.
They're going to slam dunk their case as much as they can because all that information is out there right now.
Yeah. And so I guess, I don't know, there must have been some sort of miscommunication on our show on Tuesday because I was not taking responsibility off of Raja, but I'm saying there's more blame to go around than just
you're
one
saying
person.
there's people that did not react the way they should have reacted. There's people that were not in place when they should have been in place based upon just the situation of what you had, but they didn't expect it, and some of them are not prepared for it.
That's true as well. Like John, like you can have 100% blame. And when I say 99.5% or 90% goes to him and 10% goes to the promoter, people blew up. And I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to get you to 100%. But I'm just trying to get you to 100%, which I shouldn't have. I should have just said 100% goes to him. But then also, there's also some more blame over here of another 20, 30% or 50%. I've been trying to get it to equal 100 for all you people. But guess what? It doesn't matter. There's enough. There's all the blame goes on Raja. There's more blame to go around. There is more. I mean, like you have people that could have stepped in and done.
At the same time, wrestling legend Booker T weighed in on the Raja Jackson controversy, describing the incident as nothing short of a serious assault. While he placed the primary blame on Jackson himself, he didn't shy away from pointing a finger at the promoters who allowed him into the ring. Drawing from his 2 decades of experience running a wrestling school, Booker T stressed that professional wrestling has always been about entertainment, not reckless violence. In his view, what happened that night crossed every boundary of the business and should never have been allowed to happen.
Initial reactions is just like everybody else that is of sound mind. Same thing they thought about it. I thought it was an egregious act. I thought it was aggravated assault at the least. And I thought that I think anybody who had a part of that should take a little bit of part of the blame. You know, it's that simple. I mean, Jackson, the kid, of course he's going to have a lot of blame to atone for. But whoever had him in there, they're going to take a lot of the blame as well. This was something that shouldn't have happened. All across the board. No way this should have happened. My thing is just I've had a wrestling school for 20 years. I've been running shows for, quite some time. This has, not come close to actually ever happening in the ring. Just because me as a wrestling fan, as a kid, I always knew what wrestling was. Ever since I was a little bitty kid watching it with my grandfather in Louisiana on the sofa, literally when I was 5 years old, I knew what wrestling was. I knew it was entertainment. I knew these guys wasn't in there trying to kill each other. And then when I saw that, it was something totally different. And for young Jackson not to know that this is entertainment, that's definitely going to be on him, and he's going to have to, hold responsibility to that. But whoever put him in.
Continuing his breakdown of the Raja Jackson incident, Booker T dissected the viral footage in detail. He noted that Psycho Stu essentially placed his trust in Raja, giving him his body, only to be knocked unconscious after a brutal slam. Booker T questioned whether Raja was attempting to imitate a famous knockout, but made it clear the match should have ended immediately at that moment. He further stressed that anyone who gave Raja the green light to continue also shares responsibility. Drawing from his years of running a wrestling school, Booker T underscored that safety must always come first, and in this case, Psycho Stu's well-being was simply not protected.
One thing I noticed when I saw the video was Psycho Stu gave him his body. Mm-hmm. He didn't fight against it when he was up there on the shoulders of young Jackson. You know what I mean? He took the bump, and the bump was so devastating it knocked him out. Okay, now I don't know if that was supposed to be the angle, such as Rampage Jackson back in the day, with the big knockout from the big slam and the guy going to sleep. I don't know if they were trying to reenact that or not, but if that was the case, that should have been over with right there.
Yeah.
Okay, all the extra-handed, blows to unconscious guy. Even if the guy wasn't unconscious, after he got hit a few times, he was unconscious.
They do share in the responsibility and the blame for this. It should have never happened. In times that I know at Reality Wrestling where we've had wrestlers involved in angles, it's always done from a very structured standpoint. It's always rehearsed, gone through, talked about, double, triple, quadruple checked, and not even just for our non-wrestlers, for our performers alike, for our wrestlers alike. Everything's done from a safety perspective. And that's just bare minimum rule number one of this industry. And Psycho Stu, his safety was not looked after in that moment. And thankfully, the boys went and covered and got him off there as quick as they could. But it was...
Following the fallout, AJ Mina pushed back hard, aiming to set the record straight on the viral incident dominating headlines. He insisted that false narratives have damaged his reputation and argued that he cannot be held accountable for the actions of another grown man. According to Mina, all he told Raja was to give Psycho Stu a receipt, and nothing beyond that, rejecting any claims that he encouraged the brutal outcome.
Before y'all judge me any further, just please let me explain. Ready? That's a receipt, bitch. That's all the I told Raja to do. Now my life is ruined over your lie. I am not responsible for what another grown-ass...
In a detailed take, Brendan Schaub revisited the Raja situation and admitted that, even after reviewing the footage multiple times, he couldn't find a single angle to justify Raja's actions. He set the scene by explaining that Raja, son of Rampage Jackson, was working a small independent wrestling event when things spiraled. During the match, an older veteran performer playfully pressed an empty can against his head. Though the veteran quickly apologized, Raja took it as blatant disrespect. Making matters worse, he began issuing threats while still live on Kick, escalating the situation far beyond what anyone expected.
Beer at Jackson, you can ask Rampage. I went, how can I defend him? Everyone's coming for his throat. How can I defend him? And they're kind of like, yeesh. Both of them were like, God, let us know if you come up with a way.
Yeah.
So I went, all right, let me look into it. I'll come up with something. That's my thing. Let me come up with it. So I look at all the videos. I watch the full live stream and all that. I got nothing.
Oh,
I can't, you can't defend this. I can, there's no defense with this. I can tell you how it led to this. So for those of you that don't know, and it's everywhere right now, it's probably the biggest news in MMA. Mm-hmm. So Rampage Jackson's son was at this wrestling event, like lower level. It's not WWE, but same wrestling, right? And he takes an empty can, like I have here, like my rain can. It's empty but smaller. Think of
just
like
a little bit of fluid, but whatever.
Yeah,
he's doing.
And he shoves it against his head. Pretty normal. I think he was aware of it. As far as I know, and this is right when he walks up, as far as I know, all this was planned. He does that. Raja feels disrespected, but this guy apologized. Mm-hmm. He's like, whoa, dude. Because Raja was like trying to fight him right there. And he keeps saying like, oh, y'all gonna learn I ain't no bitch. So there's clearly some insecurity on Raja's part, right?
Yes.
Big time. So he goes live on Kick. I'm too old. I don't know really how Kick works. I know it's live.
I couldn't understand why people were so mad. The stupid people actually think that my son snuck into the ring. And I was like, why they so mad? They thought he snuck into the ring and it wasn't part of the show. And they was like, well, he shook his hand and the guy apologized. And next thing you know, he goes in there and he's like, yeah, they did a deal to where he can get his kick back. So my son wouldn't complain. Like, Roger could have went to the police and shut him down. They're not supposed to be drinking and doing God knows whatever else they doing in the locker room back there. And they've been having problems with that guy before. And days went by.